Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be quickly restoring the surface of these headlights so that we have a clear finish. So as you can see, these are pretty faded and yellow on this Toyota, so I'm going to start by sanding the surface down and then polishing and sealing it off with a glass sealant. There's different methods of doing this. You could also just sand it down, spray a clear coat over it, and then go with that method, but I think the glass sealant one is a better option to go down because you've got UV protection and you're not going to run into any issues with the headlight not being the same way it was when it was made in the factory. So that's the option I'm going to go for. I've only got 1200 grit and 2500 grit sandpaper for this video, so preferably if you have the option of buying sandpaper, I would start off with lower grits, so maybe 400 grit and 600 grit sandpaper, but I'm still going to be able to work with what I've got and hopefully get a nice finish. So I'm starting off by taping around the edges of the light, and this is just so that I don't scratch any of the paint up when I'm sanding. Now I'm going to take the sandpaper out of the water. I'm starting with the lower grit here, and I'm going to start working in to the headlight, sanding by hand. It'll be better if you have a sanding block, so as you can see it's quite difficult to do it by hand, but if you've got a block that you can use to sand, there's the types that you can put sandpaper into and clamp it down so you can get an even surface pressure, then that'll probably be easier than the way I'm doing it. Another thing I'll do if I'm doing this again is get a bottle of water so that I can keep the water on the headlight as I'm sanding, instead of me having to keep dipping it into the bowl of water to keep water on the headlight. So I went over the whole surface of the headlight using the 1200 grit, and then once I was satisfied that I'd covered everything, I then cleaned off all of the residue on there and moved on to the 2500 grit. So I'll fast forward through that process so you don't have to sit here watching me sanding. So at this point I cleaned off all of the residue from the sanding and I was ready to start polishing. So I used a regular car body rotary polisher to do this, and also normal car polish, and I polished it until I was happy that I'd polished enough. Now it was time to apply the glass sealant. So this was easy glass coating, and it's designed for use on pretty much all glass and plastic surfaces to make it waterproof and also add UV protection. So I bought this off Amazon, so I'll leave the link to the product if it's still available in the description. So I actually forgot that I still needed to have a seal around the headlight. I didn't want to get any of the coating on the paint, so I had to put all of that tape back on there again, and then I applied the sealant. Covered the surface of the headlight, waited 10 minutes, and then buffed it out again. After buffing out the sealant, that was pretty much job done, and the end result of the headlight looks a whole lot better than it did at the beginning. It's not as clear as the left side because there's some kind of frosting on the inside of the headlight that I can see, but I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to fix that without having to just change the whole lens. But it's still looking a lot better than it was before, and the visibility is much better, so it's going to help improve driving at night, and definitely not going to be any cause of any MOT issues. So if you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.